Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh shines the power, yeah. I'm chilling up in the kingdom, chilling with Yahweh Shai and all the brothers and the sisters, cooling out, having fun, drinking yayan with Yahweh Shai up in the kingdom, yeah.
Who are we? It's real. That who are we? It's real. Can't be you.
Israel.
Who's the power?
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh shines the power,
I said, who's the power?
Yahweh Bahashim.
Okay, Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
Welcome to class again. Class 100 and times over with the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. All right, for everybody that don't know, for you brothers and sisters that are new, that are going to check out our channel, you got a flyer. This information, majority of it's for you. A lot of brothers and sisters already got a lot of the information. But we wanted to let y'all know we do have classes in a few areas. She's going to put them up there on the screen. So the class times, they're up there. We have class. Which ones you got up there?
I got the Norfolk and Rochester.
Okay, we also have class in San Antonio. There's some brothers out there in Albuquerque. All right, still getting down. All right, we just opened up our school, so we got to change the address on here in Rochester, New York. So let's give the Most High a round of applause for that. I want to say all praise to the Most High, Hashem Yahweh Shai, to the brothers and sisters out there that are dedicating themselves to the ministry. All right. Everybody didn't last, but the ones that did, they really dedicated to the work. So Rochester, New York, we just got the school. So we're going to be putting up the address next class. The water to everybody that helped us help out. And let me say this. A closed mouth don't get fed. We have to start asking y'all for help because we can't do it alone. So if y'all can help. You know what I mean? If you need more time to examine us, to make sure we're kosher and that we're not going to fly off with your $100 donation or alms, do that. Right? Because we know the skepticism is there. But at the same time, when you get over that, know that we need help. You know what I mean? With our schools, with everything. The burden is on us, and we've been bearing this burden. And there's a lot of brothers and sisters that do watch us and listen to us. We're asking y'all to help out. So she's going to put the alms. As I'm saying this, she's already moving in the spirit of Hamashiach to put up their information if y'all do want to help. All right? If y'all do want to help, you can give alms, whatever you want to give. We take Bibles, pens, apocryphers, computers, whatever you want to give. We are taking, right? We're not nonprofit where we get like this lump sum of money. This is on the blood, shed, sweat and tears of the brothers and sisters in these schools. All right, we do this. All right, so our locations, all right, are up there. Brother's been consistently for a while checking out Blog Talk Radio. It's got a lot of old blog talks on there. It's got a lot of new blog talk on there. I think from what I heard, Mashaba's still on there doing that. Okay, so that's a beautiful thing. Let's see here. What else we got here? Oh, most important thing, Passover garments. the sisters want me to remind y'all that if you plan on coming to the Passover and you don't have the money right now for your Passover garment, still go online and put in that you want a garment. All right, that way you can knock that out. They can account for the garments that's needed. All right. Okay, we're doing our brotherly part in telling you now. You cannot come the last month and say and act like it's our fault. All right. I needed y'all didn't let me know about the garments. We're going to be doing this for the next 3 months. December, January, February, March. So we're going to stop asking when? In March?
We need to have a week.
I know we need to have a week before March, but
Yeah, March.
yeah, we're not going to be reminding anybody after March because at that time, you should already have your money in. They would already be working on the garments. So I'm going to say it again. We are doing our part in reminding y'all. Y'all got to do your part and just go on the website, put your name in that you do want a garment. What else we got on here? Hebrew Academy. If it is in your mind to dedicate yourself to being a priest, you can join Hebrew Academy. If you want to step up and do more, look into joining Hebrew Academy and stepping into the office that the Most High called you for. Okay? So Hebrew Academy, and we have them in all those locations, wherever we're at. If you need me, my number will be up there. And we already spoke about the alms. All right? Oh, Passover. You want to help out with the Passover location. All right? That ain't free. You know what I mean? We don't put a gun in your head and charge you at the door, but we are asking for help. You know what I mean? That's all on us. That's been on us. We would pay for the location. The location's like $5 grand just for the location. Remember, we need to get the land. We need to feed everybody. If you don't have money, don't feel bad. Don't do like our people like to do. Well, you know what? I ain't gave for the lamb, so I'm going to just hold out on that. This is not like a backyard boogie. You know what I mean? This is not like a barbecue that you guys do every weekend. This is the Most High's holy day. So if you don't got money, don't worry about that. We're going to get it, but it's our job to ask for help when we need it, all right? So still come to the Passover. So that's it for the announcements. We're going to start out with a question for the Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom to everybody online, everybody in here. Does anybody have any questions on anything that we need to deal with? Issues? Anything on your mind? If not, I'm going to go to, yeah.
How do you keep your patience with someone that's stubborn?
Say that again.
How do you keep your patience with someone that's stubborn?
How do you keep your patience with someone that is stubborn? Well, you heard him say it before. Patience is a virtue, right? Well, everything is what? To obtain everything we're trying to achieve takes what? Practice. Now, put that in the biblical scripture. What does it say? Yeah, y'all use the word practice, right? So give me a scripture that says to edify her, to show her what is going to need it to have this patience. Go to Judges. I need a scripture. Go to Judges real quick. Go to Judges. And this is going to be everything. Right? Where are we at?
Judges chapter 5 and verse 11.
Yeah, this is everything. Everything we're trying to obtain in the spirit of the Most High, it takes this. Go ahead.
Judges chapter 5 and verse 11.
They
that are delivered from the noise of archers.
That's talking about us. We're looking to be delivered from the noise of the archers, from the destruction that is going to happen in this land. It's already happening, right? If you want to be delivered from Omarion virus, that's the name, right? The Super Bowl ticket or what? What's that?
Say 5 and 11.
Judges 5 and 11. If you want to be delivered from that, this process needs to happen, right? Go ahead.
In the places of drawing water.
Where do we draw the water from? The spiritual water is drawn really here. It started here in America when we woke up to who we are. That's where we draw this knowledge from, right? Go ahead.
There shall they rehearse the righteous act.
There shall they what?
Rehearse the righteous act.
So back to your question, sis. You got to rehearse. If you want to gain patience, you got to keep rehearsing. You got to keep practicing, right? What do you got for rehearsing?
To rehearse, to recite, to repeat the words of a passage or composition, to practice.
Right. You see that? So in order for you to get more patience, and how do you be patient with people, with brothers and sisters, and attain from patience to long suffering? You got to practice. You got to keep practicing it. You got to keep putting your mind in that moment through the strenuous act of applying the Bible to get you to conquer that moment, right? And it takes you constant rehearsal, whether it's patience, love, unity, brotherhood, sisterhood, right? Denying your flesh, whether it's denying, not being prideful. It's a consistent practice that needs to happen. You know what I mean? With you. You know what I mean? Obviously, we could go over a whole class on this, but I do want to touch on this question, this other class, this other question tonight. All right, that we got. What you got?
Ephesians 4:2.
Right. Yeah, let's go there. Let's go to Ephesians 4 and read 2, and we're going to read 3. Just like I said, I'm trying to just go through this quickly because there's a lot of scriptures that can go with it. So be not deceived. There's a lot of scriptures that can go with showing you how to continually. But we're going to touch on a lot of things tonight pertaining to your question also. All right, but read this one real quick.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 2.
He already got it. Go ahead.
With all lowliness and meekness.
No. Read 1. Read 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead.
Verse 1.
Right. Where are we at again?
Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 1.
Where are we at one more time?
Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 1.
So we're at Ephesians 4, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to read. Go ahead.
I therefore, the prisoner of the Most High.
I therefore, a prisoner. What we have to understand is that you are no longer in prison of the world. Now you're supposed to put yourself in the mentality as a prisoner of Christ. Right? And I know for some of us it already feels that way, right? It already feels like you're in prison because your restraint, the discipline, control, environment the Most High put you in. This is a necessary to be a follower of Christ. You got to put yourself in this mind state. You have to be in an imprisoned mind state for the gospel, right? But you hear me say it all the time. This is nothing strange because you went to prison in the world or you were in prison psychologically, mentally, and spiritually in the world. So it's no difference. The thing is your mind is switching over to the gospel, the word, the will of the Most High, and saying, no, this strenuous mind, right? Because being in prison is what? It's a work on your mind, right? You can't leave when you want. You got to eat what they say. You got to live how they say. Sometimes you can't even read until they say read. That's how it is with the Bible. So to answer your question, are you listening? To answer your question, you got to see that it takes you putting yourself in this mind state every day to conquer these little moments that you're going to go through in your life. Go ahead.
Beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called.
Right? So, because you are called. You're called for a vocation, a calling. Right? That's why you're here. Go ahead.
With all lowliness and meekness.
Right. So, what is it is going to get you to apply the Bible? Lowliness and meekness. You're not going to apply the Bible if you don't got lowliness and meekness, because you got to let go of your ego and your pride. So in your instance, her question was, well, how do I be more patient with people? Sis, you there? How do I be more patient with what?
With stubborn people.
With stubborn people. How do I be more patient with stubborn people? Well, it's being consistent with people. You know what I mean? Being consistent with yourself. Humbly beseeching the Most High and knowing that you have an issue, that you lack patience. Right? And this person has to be given time to grow. We went over that yesterday, actually, in class. Go ahead.
With long suffering.
With what?
Long suffering.
Yeah, so it takes long suffering with individuals. Suffering through those moments and understanding what is necessary for you to keep the peace, keep unity, understand this person's trial and battle. Right? Yeah, what you going to say something? Okay, go ahead.
Forbearing one another in love.
Right, and that's what it comes down to. You understand that nobody's perfect. You're not perfect. So I got to forbear this individual through their trial for the love of Christ. And it takes long suffering. It takes you being meek and humble to apply the mind of Christ. What?
What would we
All right. You as a come on, you got to stand up. Go ahead.
what would we call lowliness? What would that be?
Lowly. So lowly it goes back to a meek, a mind state, a condescending mind state, right? You're putting yourself, because a high-minded person is what? I don't think it's necessary for me to go through this. That's a high-minded person. For me to serve Christ, why do I have to go through this? Well, if you think like that, you err not knowing the scriptures. Christ was a lowly man, right? He was a humble man. So it's telling us to be like Christ, be meek and lowly, and understand what we got to give ourselves to, being servants of the Most High. And in process, the truth is this. You're going to teach the quality she's looking for, right? She's looking for this quality of patience. Well, the only way she's going to obtain it is through practice of being patient, right? Rehearsing the righteous acts. Constantly going through that and understanding that it's an error in her. She can't suffer long like the scriptures say, right? All right, so any other questions? Yeah. Second Chronicles 7:14. Yes, ma'am.
I was just thinking that if we start doing more of that, we should get closer to our actual goal.
Hold on a second. Is this a question?
I mean,
Or are you trying to make a statement?
probably both. I mean, more a statement.
Okay, based on what though? What you trying to make a statement on?
Second Chronicles.
No, I'm saying, what are you trying to make a statement on?
Like, we should be more focused on that.
Okay, well, let's see what you're talking about. Go there.
Second Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14.
Uh-huh.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves
Mm-hmm.
and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways,
Mm-hmm.
then will I hear from heaven and forgive their sin and will heal their land.
Right. True. Yeah, remember, it's easier said than done, right? Yeah, it's easier said than done. So brothers and sisters got to apply what to get them there to do it. But yeah, that's correct. All right, any other questions? Anything before we go into this topic? Nothing? Anything online? The online thing, I keep forgetting we're online again. No? Okay. All right, so this question came from someone asking, hold on one second, let me get it. Okay, this is Numbers 12 and 7. So they had a question on Numbers 12 and 7. For y'all that basically, been here, y'all know that a lot of these classes been coming from questions that brothers and sisters been asking. And this is another one. We try to ask or answer these different questions. Even like the question she asked, if she wants a full class in it, we go over it. We touch on it again and again. We got something online? What we got?
A family member
sent a gift to my son, and a check to me for Christmas. I didn't get a chance to explain. We don't celebrate Christmas. What should I do?
Well, it depends. If you got to make a point, deny the gift. Simple as that. Sometimes a point has to be made. Like, we're not doing that. You guys want to send us gifts or send us something, you can do it outside of Christmas. You know what I mean? So, it depends on where you are with your family. You know what I mean? Now, if they're family members that ain't here and all that, well, once again, you might say, nah, I don't need it. Thank you. Just reject it and hold. Right? That's it. Period. Make your point that you're going to stand in the gospel. That you're going to stand by the laws and commandments of the Most High. That's what you have to do. All right. Any other questions? Shalom, brother. How you doing?
Shalom.
All right. We wanted to open up. We're starting out with questions. So if y'all got anything, you can ask. And if not, we're going to go right into tonight's topic. Yeah.
Women allowed to ask questions?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You're her husband? Okay. Oh, I mean, so she's single?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, if you were her husband, I would say, okay, long as you say it's okay, right? If she's single, then she don't have a husband, she can ask, of course. Yeah. All right. I mean, do y'all got anything? Nothing right now? Okay. You got anything? Okay. All right. We want to open it up, man. We usually do every class, not just because y'all came in. Every class we want to make sure brothers and sisters get their questions answered. Any issues or problems, we go over them, we talk about them, we go through the scriptures in class. Cook, you got anything? No?
No, sir.
All right.
Just happy to be home, baby.
All praises to the Most High, man. All right, so anything else online? Okay, so this question comes from Numbers 12 and 7. And the question was, let's read it first real quick. Numbers 12 and 7. And I put together, once again, if you do have a question, and you say, hey, listen, could you put a class together on this? This is where this comes from. The sister asked a question on it, and she said, could you do a class together on it? And we put full classes, as opposed to me just touching on a few scriptures and a few points on the topic. We'd touch on, a full class dealing with topics. All right? So, Numbers 12, verse 7. Let's read that.
Numbers chapter 12 and verse 7.
Yeah.
My servant Moses is not so,
Uh-huh.
who is faithful in all mine house.
Uh-huh.
With him will I speak mouth to mouth.
Right. So that was her question. Like, she said, how can, basically, if Moses was faithful in all his house, what did that mean? And how can I be faithful in my house as a woman? Right? But, when we touch on these topics, I want to touch men and women. She's going to still be addressed. But this is a good point to talk about to brothers and sisters. Because being faithful, it's a quality that we're supposed to have. We all have to have. But how do we obtain this faithfulness like Moses? It says Moses was he was the meekest man on earth during his time. Well, what made him this faithful man? Right? What is going to make the brothers faithful? So when I look up the word faithful, check this out. It says remaining loyal and steadfast. Remaining loyal and steadfast. So we're going to talk about it. It says loyal, true, devoted, right? That's what it means to be faithful. Right? And this is the quality that the Most High seen in Moses. But here's the thing. Before we can get to this faithful stage, devoted, what's the first thing that has to happen before you can get to this loyal and faithful stage? Go ahead.
You have to be willing.
You have to be willing. That is correct. What?
You have to believe.
You have to believe. That is correct too. What?
You gotta kill the old man.
He hit it right on job. He hit it right on the spot. Because there's no way you're going to be loyal to something when you're still thinking like the old way. So before we go into this faithful thing, you can't be faithful to the word when you still got something else telling you, do it this way. You want it done this way. You need to feel this way, think this way, act this way, walk this way, talk this way, and then you want to be faithful to something else. It's not going to happen. In order to be loyal, and what's the other word it had in there? Devoted. True. It says constant. You got to let go of the old thinking, right? So I know this sister asked this question, but you know why I'm going from this perspective? Because Israel don't get it. You know what I mean? You can't serve two masters. You got to hate one and love the other. Right? It can't be I'm straddling, I'm going with the logic of what my mama told me, my daddy told me, the ex-pimp told me, the baggage of my mom, the abuse of my dad, right? That logic can't drive you in the truth. Because if you have these two logics, then you're not going to be free to be devoted to the other logic. Right? So let's touch on that one real quick. Let's go, you hit it right on point, all right? You've been in class though. You've been in class. Go to 2 Corinthians 4 and 2. 2 Corinthians 4 verse 2. So before we get to this faithful, I want to be faithful to the Lord. I want to be dedicated. I want to believe with all my whole heart, right? Because everybody says that. Even the so-called law keepers. And I say the so-called because there's a lot of brothers and sisters that put all their chips in the law, but yet still break the law, still don't follow the law, right? So read that, 2 Corinthians 4 and 2.
2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty.
See, that's the first step before we can get to cleansing ourselves. You got to renounce the hidden things, right? And we talked about this the other day, but like I said, the Spirit keeps bringing it right back around to this point. Why? Why does the Spirit keep bringing this point back around? Because a lot of people don't want to renounce the old man, the old mind, the old way of thinking. And then they're thinking what? Oh, I can come to the Lord with the thinking of the world. Right? So give me what I asked for. It said renounce. No man can serve two masters. You can't hold the whole wine in your bottle. Read that one more time. We're in 2 Corinthians 4 and 2.
But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty.
That's what you got to do. Before you get to this loyalty, you got to, let's think about this. If you are dealing with a man and you are side texting someone from TikTok and Instagram, are you loyal? So what has to happen with the man you're with? You either got to separate from that man, right? Right? Let go of the way he thinks, the way he wants you to live, the way he wants you to be, right? Now we know this is unlawful because the scriptures say you weren't supposed to divorce him, right? But this is the logic behind it. You cannot be on the phone with one man and talking to another man, right? It can't work like that. Right? Let's get that. Hold that. I quoted it, so I wanted to get it. Read that. Where are we at?
Matthew chapter 6, verse 24.
He's going to read it. Just write it down. He's going to read it. Just write it down. Where are we at?
Matthew chapter 6, verse 24.
Go ahead.
No man can serve two masters.
Right.
For either he will hate the one and love the other.
Jack, it ain't going to work like that. Your little whack-ass street logic, your America PhD logic, right? Your worldly logic, your uncle's logic, it's not going to work. You can't serve two masters. You know what I mean? You got to hate one and love the other. The scripture, man, there's so many scriptures. It says, can two walk together, at least they be agreed. Right? What mind are you walking in? Right? Well, I know how I got to live. If you come into the Most High, you got to be renewed. You got to be changed. So this faithful, this loyalty, and being true to something, now we're going to understand why a lot of people aren't true to the Most High. You can sit here, you can read the Bible all you want, you walk back out the door with your same mind state, the Bible is not going to do anything for you. How many of our people in churches, religions, right? And they don't do nothing for them. Why? Because they're not letting go their mind state. We just talked to a woman for a new YouTube show we're doing the other day. And we showed her the scriptures. She's like, well, I feel, I think, well, I don't judge. If that's what they want to do. We were like, but is it the point to follow the Bible?
God.
Yeah, but, she's like, I'm like, the Bible don't even mean, it ain't doing nothing for her in her life. And this is the problem with a lot of us, is that we think there's two ways, right? But it's telling us and making it clear that what?
No man can serve two masters.
You can't serve two masters. Right? Go ahead.
For either he will hate the one,
right,
and love the other.
This is why it says in Corinthians, you have to denounce the hidden things of dishonesty, which is what? All the stuff you learned. Right? Go ahead. No, that's it on that. Right? Is that it? Go ahead, read on.
Or else he will hold to the one,
right,
and despise the other.
And you see why there be a lot of dilemma going on in your mind? A lot of battle going on. Like, I don't know, I want to commit, but do I have to commit that way? It's like you don't know the scriptures. So there's no way you can be faithful to the gospel or true or consistent when you got somebody else on your mind. You know what I mean? You're thinking about another man. Why are you sitting with this man? It can't work like that, right?
God.
Where are you at?
Matthew chapter 9 and verse 17.
Write these down. He's just going to read it real quick because we're going to jump back to the 2 Corinthians. Just write it down. Right? These scriptures are going to pop up as we go. This isn't even in my notes. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 9 and verse 17.
Go ahead.
Neither do men put new wine into old bottles.
And that's the process. That's the problem. You steadily trying to force new knowledge into an old vessel with old knowledge and mingle the knowledge. I'm going to be a Hebrew Israelite / nigga. I'm going to be a Hebrew Israelite / what? Sellout. I'm going to be a Hebrew Israelite / thug. I'm going to be a Hebrew Israelite / what? Whatever you want to come up with. And not understand, you cannot mix the two. It would, watch, read on.
Neither do men put new wine into old bottles.
Go ahead.
Else the bottles break.
You see, that's why it be a lot of mental breakdowns, mental stability in the truth. Instability, excuse me. A lot of mental instability, man, and knowledge is like, well, I'm going to do it my way. I don't need none of that. Then you want to like shun the ones that are telling you the right way because I want to go to the easy route, right? You telling me I got to shed the old man, put off the old things, and I can't go back there because why? They telling me to work on my spirit. All right? You got the beard, you got the fringes, but how's your spirit? That's what the Most High is looking at. So you got to denounce these things of the world, the mind state of the world, the flesh, before you can be faithful to the Lord, to the Most High. Right? So did you finish? Read on.
And the wine runneth out.
Right, and the wine, basically what it's saying is this. When you try to shove the old, new knowledge into a new vessel, you're going to destroy yourself. We're going to get to that too, but you're going to destroy yourself. Now jump back to 2 Corinthians 4 and 2. So what has to happen? Right? Go ahead.
But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty.
We talked about this the other day. You got to stop lying to yourself. Stop playing with yourself. Where did you learn that from? Well, here's the tell signs. Well, I'm the type of person, like you're the type of person that the white man raised you to be, that America told you to be. So please stop well, I grew up thinking, I grew up believing, well, I feel. You're right. You do feel. We do feel. We do think that way. But is that right according to the gospel, to the word? You see that? Because if you constantly are battling with your mind and the Most High's mind, what's going to be the truth? Is it thy word is truth or thy word is truth? Which one is it? Your word is the truth or the Most High's word is the truth? Which one is it? So y'all got to keep this in mind. All right, remember, for y'all online, this is a question. The sister said, well, if Moses was faithful in his house, how can I learn to be faithful in my house? Well, my point is this, because I know, brothers and sisters, is that we can't talk about the faithfulness and the loyalty until you understand you got to let go of one thing to move and be loyal to the next. Right? So we got to denounce the hidden deeds of dishonesty. Go ahead.
Not walking in craftiness.
Go ahead.
Nor handling the word of the Most High deceitfully.
Nor handling the word of the Most High deceitfully. What does that mean? That means just like the pastors, the preachers, they try to justify themselves and keep doing sin, breaking the laws, commandments. A lot of our people in the law, keeping the law, we spiritually what? Deny the things that we got to work on. So it's on both pendulums, right? Because you can go this and show how the pastors and the preachers, they don't use the word correctly, man. They're not teaching our people the truth. But Israelites, on the other hand, we might keep the laws, but spiritually, you ain't working on yourself. So you're as bad as them. You see that? That's how you're playing yourself, right? When you do this, you're not playing the Most High. You're playing yourself because you're using the word craftily and deceitfully, and it's not going to be a benefit to you. Go ahead.
But by manifestation
Uh-huh.
of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience.
Right. Now, so the point I wanted to get out of there was we got to let go of this craftiness, this deceitfulness, the old way, right? Go to Ephesians 4:22. Now, I know I keep like a hammer pounding this in y'all head. Why? Because the last days is here. You got this Omarion virus, right? You got the Most High, bruh. They just sending out the text to the kids' schools talking about they gonna shoot it up. It's not time to play Christian. I'm playing like I'm a believer. The Most High will send those angels just like He's doing. Y'all see what happened? What's that city that just got leveled? With the one that the hurricane? Bruh, did y'all see that? Like the Most High is wiping cats out, kids out. He's not playing. This is not time to be playing. We are in those times. So you should be saying, man, let me walk upright with the Most High. Let me be sincere and real and true. Because I'm talking to your kids too. Remember, He said, go through the city, and the ones that did not have the mark slay utterly, old and young, maids and little children. The spirit of death is not going to just come on parents. If y'all kids don't set your mind right, because y'all old enough to understand this, the spirit of the Most High is not going to be like, oh, well, she's just a child. Bruh, go look at the news. Those kids, it said her daughter was hiding in the bathtub and got crushed. Many kids died in this hurricane because He's not playing. It doesn't matter. He's looking at your spirit and what you're entertaining. You got demons on you. The Most High is going to take you out these days. We should be trying to stand more righteous in the Most High. We should be trying to be more true in the spirit of the Most High. All this fake and fake stuff, it got to go. It's no benefit to show out in front of one brother or one sister and then the Most High sees what you're doing. There's going to be repercussions for what we do. Okay, so where are we at right now?
Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 22.
You're going to read 22, verse 25 and 31. We're going to jump around in this. Go ahead.
That ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man.
So, once again, I want to be loyal to the Most High, but what are you talking about? Are you still talking like people in the world? That's the former conversation, right? Are you still thinking, communicating? You got people that want to be loyal to the Most High and faithful to the Most High, but you're communicating with people in the world that's teaching you how to be disloyal. Right. It's not going to work, right? Your conscience is being wore down by them. Oh, well, we just going to give you the Christmas. What's wrong with a few Christmas gifts? They wearing you down instead of you wearing them down, right? So when you say Christ sat with sinners and publicans, his logic he wasn't double-minded all of a sudden. He was persuading them. That's why it says, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Because when the yoke swings more to them persuading you, you got to step away from that. That didn't happen with Christ, but that happens with us. A lot of brothers and sisters that are not rooted in the gospel, that are not rooted in the word. Let me finish. Let me get some of this. It says, put off the former conversation. What are you talking about, right? The old man. Go ahead.
Which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust.
Right. So, once again, y'all, the question is, how do I be faithful in my house? Well, if you're still communicating, thinking, and lusting after the things of the world, how are you going to be faithful to the Creator, to the new woman, the new man? It's not going to happen. Stop deceiving yourself. You got to reject. You got to let go. You got to cut yourself off. You know what I mean? You got to change fully to be able to be loyal to the Most High. Your new man, right? Because if not, what happened? You're going to get with the new man and still be what? Texting the old man. Man, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm with him, but he don't. Now you talking to him about the new guy. You know what I mean? You texting you with the new guy, but you texting the old guy, right? Because he used to what? Blow your back out, right? But the new guy's like he's timid. Like that's madness. That's confusion. But that's how we be in the truth with the Most High. You supposed to be the new man, but you what? You still trying to hang on to the tentacles of the old man. You got to let these things go, man. This is how loyalty is going to be established within your vessel. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 23.
No, you're going to read verse 22, 25, and 31. Go ahead.
Verse 25.
Go ahead.
Wherefore, putting away lying.
Right. So, like I said, what's the first thing we got to do? Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to others. Stop playing with yourself. Know your issues. Oh, you know what my issue is? I still got all my old weed buddies and the thing. And you always, Yahweh, take the weed spirit away from me. Please, take it away. But you got all the weed heads. You hang around with all the weed heads. Right at work, you what? Walk outside with the weed heads. And you wanted the cigarettes and the weed to be taken away. It's not going to work. You got to separate yourself from that. Yahweh, please take the spirit of drunkenness away from me. But you got a whole cabinet of all the liquor. You know what I mean? Where you got to walk past and look at all the liquor. Right? If you're a whoremonger, the same thing. I mean, we can go through it. Whoremongering, right? You got all the dating apps. And you want, Yahweh, man, I got a problem with my lust. But your thumb is doing this. You're occupied in negative. You're occupied in the old man. So, if you want to be faithful, let's be real with yourself and start shunning, cutting off the old way of thinking. Or we can't even talk about loyalty. I don't even want to talk about that yet. Why? Because you still are loyal to the old woman, the old man, right? Go ahead.
Speak every man truth.
Right. Listen, you got to tell the truth, but you got to start with telling yourself the truth. You know what? I got a lot of old things in me, man, that I haven't let go. And truthfully, every time I face the east and ask the most, Y'all gotta stop with this Christianity madness. If you're gonna be a follower of Christ, well, then be the true Christians. You know what I mean? You're gonna pray for the Most High to help you, but go right back and set yourself up for failure with the things around you. The Most High don't work like that, man. If you're praying to the Most High, you got to follow the gospel's plan, the word's plan, which is what? Godly sorrow worketh repentance unto salvation. Right? That means you got to start setting the things up, using the Bible and chopping these things down around you. You want to be more faithful? You want to be more loyal? You want to be in your house the righteous woman, the righteous brother? That's what we got to start with. All right, so let's stop the cap. Let's stop the cap, bro. Go ahead.
With his neighbor.
Right.
For we are members one of another.
Right. Go ahead. To verse 31.
31.
Read.
Let all bitterness.
So you got to let these things go. I got to let go of the old man, the way of thinking. Right? I'm angry, bitter black woman, Hispanic woman, Israelite woman. I got to let that go. That's the old way, right? Go ahead.
And wrath.
And what? The spirit of wrath and anger, everything upsets me. Everything gets me angry. I don't know how to control myself, my thinking. I don't got no peace within myself. That's the old way. Let's start with these things, right? Because if I don't start here, I ain't going to be truthful with myself when I deal with the other things. Go ahead.
And anger.
Read.
And clamor.
Right.
And evil speaking.
Right. And evil speaking. Go ahead. This is a gauge. If you wanted to gauge yourself and say, what am I more of? Am I more of the new woman or the old woman? The new man or the old man? I don't have to judge you. We don't have to judge you. You judge yourself and gauge yourself and say, man, what am I more locked into? What has more power over me? I want to be loyal to the Most High, faithful, but I lock more into these attributes instead of Galatians 5 attributes. Right? The fruits of the Spirit. Right? Go ahead. Read.
Be put away from you.
Go ahead.
With all malice.
Right?
And be ye kind one to another.
Right. That's where we have to start with. Go ahead.
Tenderhearted.
Right?
Forgiving one another.
Right. So, y'all, is everybody with me on this point? What's the point? What are we talking about? I put them on plan. All right, what's the point? Who knows the point? What are we talking about? First of all, we're talking about a question. The question is, how could I be faithful like Moses, right? What point am I touching on?
Right now, we're touching on getting the things out of your mind, or getting the old man tendencies out of your mind.
Right.
And basically getting attached to the Bible more, getting it closer to the Word, and acting on the Word.
There you go. Perfect. In order to be what?
To be new.
To be loyal, because that's what we looked up as faithful, because that's our question. How do I be more faithful? We look up, it said loyal and steadfast. Right? So we got to let these things go. Go to 1 Peter 4, verse 2. Time to be flying. That's why I'm trying to get through these. First Peter 4 and 2. And if anybody got any questions on it, just raise your hand. Go ahead.
1 Peter chapter 4, verse 2.
Go ahead.
That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh.
That's what you're supposed to be thinking about. That we got to do like Yahweh Shai. Stop trying to live in the flesh and glorify the things of the flesh. Right? Go ahead.
To the lust of men.
You see that? Are you worried about your pleasure in the things that you want to do? How you want to think? How you want to feel? This is very important because loyalty is going to come with you giving up something. And the Most High wants you to lose those things of the world to be loyal with Him. Right? You got to cut off all the old boyfriends. Right? It's like a relationship, right? The old boyfriends is what? You was a Baptist, you was a Methodist, you was a Pentecostal, you was a 7-day this event. You got to cut all that off. You can't have two different logics. You're going to see why. Go ahead.
But to the will of the Most High.
Right. But to the what?
The will of the Most High.
Check that out. But to the will of the Most High. You see? That we no longer should live in the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High. That's beautiful. Go ahead.
For thine past of our own life.
For the time past.
For the time past
right?
of our own life.
So what did you do in the past? Read.
May suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles.
Meaning it was sufficient for you to what? Walk like the Gentiles and the nations. That's what you did in the past. Come to terms with it. Stop acting like, no, I'm me. You're not you. You're a movie. You are then either, listen, when you deal with our brothers and sisters in the hood, you're either a Minister Society clone, a rapper clone, right? A Scarface, which was a white man, by the way. He wasn't even Latino. He wasn't even of the nation Israel. All right? So you're either trying to be the Scarface clone, right? The rapper or the dang movie one. Or you're trying to be a what? Oh, Edomite clone, a so-called white man clone. Right? You got to think about this. So the persona that you have taken on is not yours. Stop trying to hold fast to what you are not. The Most High said, you lived that life of the Gentiles. Who are you really? Huh? Sisters, are you the loud, disrespectful, disgruntled, I gotta be disrespectful to everybody and argue with everybody person? Or were you raised like that, to think like that, and now this persona just got your mind? That's the old woman. You see that? Y'all gotta see these things, but we gotta do what? Come to reality. Stop playing with ourselves. And stop acting like, well, you're trying to change me. Yes. Exactly. Man, well, what am I then? You don't got to go kill yourself. Just know that the Most High didn't create you to be this image that we're thinking we are right now. Right? The lust of the flesh, the pride of life. I got to get this money, get this paper. Nobody can tell me about me. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to tell me how to be. Right? That's all the old man, the old woman. So when we look at the character of Moses, because that's where her question was, what made Moses the man? See, Moses didn't have that ego. He had humility. Don't look at the movie Moses. Oh my God. Oh my God. They butchered this man's character. First of all, if you look at the movie Moses, they make him to be a double-minded, unsure, unfaithful. All the qualities, the good qualities that the Most High talks about in the Bible about Moses, they go opposite of that. So you can't look at the movie. You got to look at the qualities in the Bible biblically, what made him a faithful man. But let's get the gist of it, the sum of it. Look at all the men of the Bible, what made them righteous and holy and pure in the Most High's eyes. What made them dedicated, right? What made them, right? You see those things. We can go all day with that. I know there's a lot, but we got to see that those are the characteristics that we supposed to be adopting. The old wine got to go. The old cloth got to go. The old thinking has to go in order for me to be loyal and faithful to the crown, to the true crown, right? To the Most High. Y'all see this? Now, how many of y'all feel that you're not loyal because of what I'm saying? How many of y'all feel that there's so much of the old that keeps you thinking the old way that as you're trying to give yourself to the Most High, it almost seems like a struggle?
I was just saying, I think it would be a good idea to compare Moses to Abraham.
Moses to Abraham? Mm-hmm.
Because if we can do something like that, maybe we'll get a better understanding of the difference.
Well, there's no difference. The good qualities of Moses, are the same qualities that Abraham had. He had humility, right? He had integrity, right? he put the Most High first, right? He had the spirit of love for his people, for his brothers, for his kindred. So that's the same qualities that why his name is written, right? You hear about a Moses and an Abraham because these qualities exemplify themselves more than anybody else. And that's what made these men the examples in the Bible. Now, Christ is the peak of all that, right? But Moses, David, the Most High said he was a man after his own heart. And I know you're thinking, well, David sinned. Well, Abraham sinned. He wasn't Yahushua. He wasn't Christ. You know what I mean? Moses sinned. He wasn't Christ. There was only one man that did no sin. That was the Mashiach, right? So, knowing that, what exemplified in these characters, in these men, these qualities, the righteous qualities. See, even, we just went over in the Sabbath class, right? Joseph. What exemplified him? He wasn't bitter what his brothers did to him. He still kept his integrity no matter what he went through. Right. And he didn't look at his brothers with bitterness and anger. When it was time for him to show forth, was he a lustful person? When she tried to, the queen tried to have sex with him and commit adultery, he showed forth his integrity. So all the men, we can go through the Bible and see that these characteristics in these men are the examples that the Most High wants us to follow. You see, it goes right back to the fruits of the Spirit, and once again, Yahushua, he was the best of all, right? The cream of the crop example. So this is the thing, though. What is holding a lot of us back? Right? What is it? Let's be real with ourselves. What is holding a lot of us back to where we can't be faithful in our house and loyal in our house? Because that's her question. I'm trying to stick to her question. Yeah. What?
Casting down imaginations.
Oh, okay, but you got to speak. Speak in a little lamer terms. Answer my question. What?
The past.
Yeah, your past. Yeah, what you've been through. A lot of that too. A lot of old baggage. Mama beat me too hard. Daddy burned cigarettes on my neck. You know what I mean? I got touched by my uncle. Like, we've been talking about this a lot during the last week. But those are baggages we got to let go. We got to forgive a lot of them, let go. We got to understand people got Satan on them. But those baggages can't define our path. You know what I mean? We got to start moving in the spirit of the Most High. If not, then you're going to just be moving in that old mind of hurt, anger, bitterness, wrath, clamor, right? That's what we just read. You see that? And that's where it comes from. It comes from all the hurt of the past. So it stops us. What?
I was saying, like, the differences between them, but what the similarity was, they all cared about, like, all of us as a whole. Like, they all, when you talk about the forefathers, they all cared about our path as a whole.
Right, as a nation.
Getting to the level that they were striving for us to be at.
And I like where you're going with it. I like where you're going with it. The example of these men were, I'm going to think about the next man. Moses slew the Egyptian because he was his brother's keeper. It said in Genesis 18, one we always go over, it says, I know Abraham, he will teach his people. He would teach his children, And this would be carried on to the next generations and generations. So you're right. These men all, let's go back to Micah, Ezekiel, Isaiah. They all sacrificed for the people, for our people. You know what I mean? So yeah, they had to think about their nation and not be selfish, which is one of the qualities that the Most High is trying to instill in us, right? Not being selfish individuals like a Cain, like Esau, right? You see that? So, okay, all right, let's get back, because time just runs. Where are we at?
1 Peter chapter 4, verse 2.
Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Go ahead.
For the time past of our life may suffice us,
right,
to have wrought the will of the Gentiles.
So the point of these scriptures is to show y'all that what we did in the past and come to terms with that. Stop trying to, remember, this isn't we're reading the Bible and it's talking about somebody else. Please don't do that. You're not going to benefit from the word. This is you. This is me. This is us. In the time past, we did the will of the Gentiles, right? Whether it was your mama in a Gentile state of mind or it was the Gentile mentality of the world. You did it, right? Go ahead.
When we walked in lasciviousness.
Right, and it's telling you how you did it. Because the world taught you to walk in this deep desire and lust. That's where the pornography comes from. I can't live unless I have sex all the time, or drinking all the time, or whatever lust that put us, that captivated us more than the Creator, right? That was what we did. But now it's supposed to be different. So air quotes, supposed to be, right? Because are you different? Are you fighting for it different, or are you just saying, oh, this is just how I am? You know what I mean? This is, why are you trying to change me? Yeah, I gotta say that because you know our people, they always say the same thing. You're just trying to change me, right? How many women have said that? You know what I mean? Well, you're just trying to change me. Yes, I'm trying to change you for the better, to be like Yahweh Shai. Brother said it. Damn, man, I feel like, man, like everything is changing about me. Yes, what you angry for? Right? The Most High said you needed to be the new man. See? But that's why when we talked about it the other day about brainwashing, I was talking about this a few weeks back. Brainwashing is that. It's washing your brain. So, but who's going to put the knowledge in that you're going to follow after is washed? Is it America? Is it your mama? Or is it the scriptures? So yeah, you're being brainwashed. Your brain is being cleansed through the gospel to think a whole different way. And yes, you what? Dress like them, walk like them, talk like them, act like them. It's the same way you did for everything and everything else in the world. So don't act like it's not going to happen in the truth. Well, why you dress with fringes? Everybody got fringes on. According to them, that's what? That's a cult. Right? Y'all dress alike. Y'all talk alike. Y'all act alike. Right? But we know that's not a cult. The nefarious, negative, wicked things make you an occult, not unity. Because if that was the case, the T-Mobile workers are a damn cult. The AT&T workers are a cult. Every one of y'all that love Apple more than Android is a cult. Right? Actually, they say it's a cult of Mac. Right? So, you had your hand raised, Cook. What you was going to say? Okay, read on.
I was going to say,
a lot
of that, you're right. We have been brainwashed. If nobody has ever read the Will of Lynch letter, that was practically brainwashed for a whole group of people.
Right.
A whole nationality of people. We have been brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
We were brainwashed, and then we have a lot of scars.
Or brain dirty, right?
And I can't remember the exact scriptures, but the Most High said, my people have wounds that have not been healed.
Right.
We're still dealing with the wounds from the past, and we can't focus on the future.
Right.
We still have open sores that haven't been healed.
Right. See, but here's the first step. If we acknowledge it and understand, that's why I went to the Ephesians 5. It says that you speak the truth. Like if we acknowledge it, then we can move forward. Right? So this loyalty is not going to come till we do that. Go ahead and read on.
Lusts.
Uh-huh.
Excess of wine.
Right. Excess of lust, excess of wine, meaning you solve your problems through what? Liquor, through drinking. Like, that's not going to fix you, man. All the drinking, the blunts, right? The black and mild breath, all that, it ain't never save us. We still messed up, right? That ain't going to save you. What's going to save you is the wisdom, right? One of our favorite scriptures, Isaiah 33:6, wisdom should be the strength of salvation, right? And then Isaiah 32, verse 17, right? That wisdom was going to bring peace, tranquility, right? All these things. So it's not going to be the liquor, the wine, the substance. Go ahead.
Revelings.
Right, revelings. Oh, I'm going to go out. Oh, our people love to go out. They out tonight, right? Friday, acting like the work, things ain't happening in their life. Right? They on social media acting like they living it up. But that's all a facade. Because a lot of our people, America, doesn't teach us to face our problems. That's why I'm going at it in this point. Because we cannot be this loyal and faithful brothers and sisters if you don't say, damn, I've been fake all my life. Right? All the social media, all the not wanting to realize that I made myself abuser, listen to this, of substances. I made myself an abuser of a substance. Because that's what you do. You make yourself dependent on these things. Because you have no other way. I mean, let's be real. In the world, you have no other stability. So you did do that. You know what I mean? You said what? I'm going to blank out on the liquor. I'm going to blank out on the sex. I'm going to blank out on meeting random guys, random girls. But you do that. That's what I teach my kids. I teach them that you got the power. Like, Satan don't got power. Y'all know that, right? You still got to pick from his hand what you want. He just puts it out there. Right? That's what America does. They put it out there. But you don't got to act like them. You don't got to be the transvestite, the switch hitters, the dope heads. You don't got to do that. You got to look at them like I do, like we do. Y'all are insane. You know what I mean? Yeah, I ain't messing with y'all. Right? That's how we got to look at them. Right? Hold on. Go ahead. Read on. Banquetings. That's going out all the time. Partying. Go ahead.
And abominable idolatries.
See, and abominable idolatries, meaning the things that we hold up above the Most High. Because we know nobody's sitting down, hopefully, and bowing down to the babe religion, Beyonce religion. Nobody's, bowing down to a statue. You know what I mean? No more, right? Now it's what? Your logic, your mind. Giving yourself over to these things. Idolatry, abominable, filthy idolatries. What verse you at?
Verse 4.
Where are we at?
1 Peter chapter 4, verse 4.
Okay, that's the last verse. Go ahead.
Wherein they think it strange that ye run not.
So wherein, now that you don't do these things, they think it's strange. People look at you like you're weird because you what?
That ye run not with them.
That you're no longer with them. See, now they try to play on your conscience and your guilt, right? Because you want to be a good person and love your family, but you got to realize your family ain't a lot of them might not come along with you. 2 should be in the field, 1 should be taken, 1 left, right? A man's foe should be there of his own household, right? It is what it is. We had this new sister in Rochester recently, and she was coming to class hard until Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Thanksgiving popped up. Her battle through class, most of her questions were, how do you deal with your family? And we went through the gospel, showing her, sis, Matthew 10, it shows you, Christ, I came not to set peace but a sword, right? A man's foe should be there of his own household. We showing her that the gospel is going to separate you, that people are going to not hear what you got. This was all the way up to Christmas, Thanksgiving. And then Thanksgiving, that came around, she disappeared. She had such a zeal. But see, we told her what she was going to go through, right? When you come to serve the Lord, what? Prepare yourself for temptations, right? She didn't believe it. A lot of y'all don't believe it. Y'all think it's a fad. It's I'm just going to hear it and everything's going to be all right. No. Everything you hear, you are accountable for. So it'd be better if you had not even learned, listened, right? Now you know, right? Christianity, they didn't tell you, right? Keep the laws, follow the Sabbath, follow the high holy days, right? Lock into the Spirit, follow Christ in spirit and in truth, right? They didn't tell you that, right? Especially, man, this lady we talked to last night, she made Christianity look like more like what we knew it was, garbage. According to her, you don't even need to believe in the Bible. You just do whatever you want. I was like looking at her like she was insane, man. I was like, well, I asked her, I said, well, what's the point of the Bible then if you just choose to do whatever you want? But in her mind, it was like, no, you can do whatever you want, and I'm going to do what I want. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to tell you nothing. We could have been there all night with her, though, just going through the whole scripture, showing her. But go to Colossians 3, verse 5. Colossians 3, verse 5 to 9. So hit that one real quick. Go ahead.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth.
Right. So what do we have to do to be more loyal and faithful? That is the question. Well, you got to start destroying and mortifying the flesh. What you got?
Mortify, to subdue or deaden the bodily appetites, especially by abstinence.
You see that? So what does abstinence take? Discipline, control, letting go, refraining, restraining. That's what mortify means. So in order for us to be more faithful to the Lord, to Yahweh, to the Most High, to each other, we got to mortify the things of the flesh. That means that all the aforesaid things we just read, right, that you have more desire to give into, you got to start killing that noise. You got to start shutting that down. Go ahead.
Fornication.
What?
Fornication.
So what do we got to kill? We got to kill the spirit of fornication. Whether it be spiritual fornication, you putting things and jumping around from logic to logic, mind state to mind state, right? You worshiping the sun, the moon, the stars. You're over here, you're over there. Or physical fornication, which is what? You not controlling your body, your orifices. Controlling your body. You got to cut all that out. Go ahead.
Uncleanliness.
Right. All the uncleans and filthy things we did in the world. The things of the flesh. We got to cut it off. He like summed it up. All uncleanness, right? Go ahead.
Inordinate affection.
Right. We know that. That's that sodomite mind state. Inordinate affection. Love is love. Hell no. Love ain't love. No. Inordinate affection. We got to put that aside. Right? You gotta get your woman gotta kick you in the nuts to what? For you to get a feeling? Like, you gotta kick me. Whatever's like. Then they try to say, oh, it's in the bedroom, it's okay. Like, are you sick? Your rib kicking you in the nuts is all right. Oh, shalom. I'm okay with this. Like, come on, y'all. Inordinate affection. Like, you gotta get your rockers off and have sexual relations to do all that, hang from ropes and strings, and you know what I mean? All I know is that I get a lot of calls. That's all I'm saying. I just get a lot of calls. You be thinking I'm making it up, but is it okay if he chokes me with a belt? Right? Like really? You gotta go there? But where do we get that from? Pornography, TV, Netflix. And you start what? Man, that's right. Nah, man. You got to put all of that aside. Right? What else we got?
Evil concupiscence.
Evil concupiscence or evil desires. It goes right back into what I just said. Concupiscence is a deep desire and a deep lust. So evil lust. Right? Go ahead.
In covetousness.
You got a question? Okay, read on. And what?
In covetousness.
Covetousness. So, what do we got to start shutting down? The flesh. There's no way you're going to be loyal to the Most High when the flesh is more powerful. When your pride and your ego is more powerful. So there's the answer. That's it. Let's go. No. But that's really it. You got a question? Hold on, sis. Hold that. I'm going to let you, because if I keep letting you. All right, so go ahead and read on. Finish this.
Which is idolatry.
Which is what?
Idolatry.
Idolatry. You see that? Meaning what? You made this thing a idol unto you. This is why you can't be loyal to the Most High, because your loyalty is into all the other things of the flesh. That's why the battle, brother, I'm having a hard battle studying. Why? What's pulling your attention? What is it? Is it liquor, lust? Right? What's pulling your attention? Something is pulling your attention for you to have a strong spirit on you where you can't stay in the spirit. idolatry. You start putting it up before the Most High. Go ahead.
For which things sake
Uh-huh.
the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience.
You got to see that this is why the Most High is destroying us. He's destroying America, the world. Right? Why he whooped you. Why he's whooped us, rebuked us, and showed us that way is wrong. Right? All these things are the children of disobedience. The ones that don't want to hear, right? The ones that you go to and say, Christmas is not in the Bible. Let me show you. They don't believe like this. But do you continually understand that all these things got to be cut off, nipped in the bud? It's got to be it's so much. Now you sounding like them. Now you sounding like them. No, it's not really that much. Just deny the flesh. It's one word. 2 words. Deny the flesh. 3 words. Right? Deny the flesh. That's really what it is. And everything that falls within that, we're controlling. Right? We're mortifying. Go ahead.
In the which ye also walked sometime.
Right. In which we what?
Ye also walked.
Remember you walked in that? Or do you? Because a lot of people act like you don't remember. Some of you come in and don't realize that that was the flesh. And that's why there's battles. There's wars among you. Right? Ye adulterers and adulterers. Know that you that are friends of the world is an enemy or enmity with God. Right? That's what it's about. See? And that's why the truth will never do nothing for you. That's why it won't do nothing for you unless you bear witness to what the heck is happening. That the flesh, the things of the world, the mind state, your mama got more power over you than God. Right? Once you realize that, then you can start being free to serve the Most High. Go ahead.
When ye lived in them.
Right. When we did what?
Lived in them.
Read.
But now, ye also put off all these.
Right.
Anger.
Right.
Wrath.
Read.
Malice.
Read.
Blasphemy.
Read.
Filthy communication.
Right.
Out of your mouth.
Right. Y'all get this, right? Second Esdras 14 and 13. I'm trying to get through all the scriptures I got. That's why, sis, I'm not taking too many of your comments. I'm trying. Look, I got all this, and I got to get through it in the next 30 minutes. All right. So read this last point on what we're talking about, having to denounce the old man. That's the first point we're talking about. Go ahead.
2nd Esdras chapter 14, verse 13.
Go ahead.
Now therefore, set thine house in order.
Go ahead.
And reprove thy people.
Read.
Comfort such of them as be in trouble.
Read.
And now renounce corruption.
That's what the point was. Renounce corruption. Right? We can't be faithful or loyal. So let's get to this loyalty. Let's go to the second point in this topic. We're going to talk about loyalty and getting to what it is to be loyalty. But I had to go there for the sister because if you don't face your problems, you can't fall into the strength. Right? What's that? Question or statement, sis? Go ahead, sis.
I was just saying, like, it all boils down to being called out of the darkness to be a light unto
the world.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. Now we're just going through the specifics. You're correct, but we're going through the specifics on how to.
I just wanted to say thank you.
Go to 1 Corinthians 4 and 2. 1 Corinthians 4 and 2. Go ahead, read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
Moreover, it is required in stewards
Right.
that a man be found faithful.
So let's get to this faithful question, right? To the depth of her question is how do you be more faithful? You know, she's asking, how do I be more faithful in my house? Well, now we get the gist of it. The faithfulness is not going to happen until you let go of the old ways, right? Well, how do we be this faithful steward, a worker, a minister? How do we become? Because this is required, right? It said it. If you're going to be a steward, because that's what she's asking. Well, how do I, in my house, be more a faithful woman or a faithful steward in my house, right? Well, let's go into that. Go to Hebrews 10:23. Hebrews 10:23. Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 23.
Go ahead.
Let us hold fast the profession of our faith.
Stop. That's the beginning. Is you got to hold fast to this faith. There can be no double-mindedness. You see why the flesh got to go? The old thinking got to go? Because how am I going to hold fast to this word when I got other logic haunting me? Right? How many of y'all came for counsel? You got the counsel out of the scriptures and did opposite of the counsel. It's like, what you calling me for? Like, we literally took you through the scriptures and said, listen, this is what the Bible says, and then you did opposite. That's pointless. The scriptures tell you got to hold fast to the faith. You were supposed to get off the phone, know that you were prideful, because the first thing that hit you is what? I don't want to do it that way. You know what I mean? I heard the scriptures, because this is what you say, right? I heard what you said, I heard what the scriptures say, but I don't want to do it that way. Right? You're not holding fast to the gospel. You want to be faithful, you got to hold strong to what you believe in. That's anything in life. Y'all hear me say this a million times over. Don't try to overcomplicate it, but it's so hard. It wasn't hard when you did it for the blunt, for the white man, for the job. It was good, right? It was easy. Master said, get you a cup of coffee, and you a cup of coffee. But you weren't hired for the cup of coffee. You were hired to do a whole different job, but you did it anyway, right? See, it's the same logic. It's the same logic. If you're subject to the Most High, you got to hold fast to this like you did in the world. Right? You was trying to be the best drug dealer you could be. Right? You was trying to be Scarface, right? Same thing. You was trying to, you wanted to get your PhD, your player hating degree, right? And you were like, what? You were studying, coffee, power drinks, right? You did all you can. Well, you got to hold fast to this the same way. The same power, the same commitment, the same dedication. As a matter of fact, it says, as it was in your mind to go astray, in return, seek him what? 10 times more. So, you got to be more loyal, more dedicated. Right? Y'all get this? Okay. All right. Read it again. 10 and 23. Somebody give me James 1 and 6.
Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 23.
So we're talking about the loyalty part, the faithful part, right? We went over the definition of faithful, which means loyal, true, and devoted. How do I be more devoted in my house? You ain't gonna be devoted, man, when you got pride and your husband's telling you, baby, I want you to do it this way. Wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands as unto the Lord. You're not going to apply that if you what? If you want to do it your way. There ain't going to be no humility in you. Right? And I'm speaking from a sister standpoint because the sister said the question, asked a question, but brothers too. You're not going to be loyal in your house, or you're not going to be loyal in the body unless you learn how to be loyal in other small things. Dedicated, committed, right? Like he was loyal to chasing Heine, right? Okay, go ahead.
Let us hold fast the profession of our faith.
Right? Here's the key, y'all. Listen up. How?
Without wavering.
Without what?
Wavering.
Without what?
Wavering.
There it is. That's it. Now you'll see why I went through the first part. What's the wavering part? I'm jumping back to the old mind. The old way I feel, the old way I think, my old method. That's what the problem is. You're never going to be loyal, faithful, true, committed, devoted, right? True-hearted, it says in the definition.
Another one says constant in performing.
It says what?
Another one says definition of faithful from the Webster's 1828. It says constant in the performance of the duties or service.
Check that out. Constant. You know why you ain't good in your duties as a wife? Because you're wavering, right? There's always a but mind state. I know what the Bible says. I done been in 1,000 million classes, but I disannulled all that class I got, but I want to follow my own mind state. Wavering, right? Read that part again. And then somebody give me that James 1 and 6, I think it was. Go ahead. Read it again.
Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering.
Right.
For he is faithful that promise.
Right. Now, why is that there? Because if you just stood consistent, you would see the word is true. But the Most High don't deal with no wavering person. Right? James 1 and 6.
James chapter 1 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
But let him ask in faith.
But you're supposed to do everything in faith. But faith takes what? Commitment and you letting go your ego. So let's revisit why Moses was a faithful man. Why was Moses faithful in all his house? Because he didn't waver. When the Most High told him something, he did it. He wasn't double questioning. You know who was double questioning? All those Negroes that got swallowed up in the ground. They were the ones. The greedy niggas that got manna from heaven, quails, their clothes never wore out, right? Water from a rock. They was not faithful. They was not loyal. Moses was faithful, loyal, devoted. He was like, Khan, that's what you want me to do? Khan, I'm going to do it. Khan, I'm going to do it. He was so loyal and faithful. When he messed up, the Most High had to check that because he wasn't going to let him be tainted. He was that loyal. He said he was the meekest man on earth. So when he struck the rock and didn't give the glory to the Most High, wait a minute, your whole path you were doing fine. You messed up here. Before you slip, I'm going to have to check you. I'm going to keep you pure with a butt whooping. Right? That's what it's about. We want to be loyal, faithful, devoted. You can't waver. It can't be a double mind. You can't have new cloth on old garments, new wine in the old bottles, or vice versa. Y'all get this? Read on in James. Go ahead.
Nothing wavering.
What? Nothing wavering. Either you're a Hebrew Israelite or a ninja. Which one are you? Which one are you? And not ninja. Y'all know what I mean. The other ninja, right?
Street ninja.
The street ninjas.
Right.
Which one are you? Huh? Are you going to take a smoke break after this class? Talk about, man, that CHAAZAQYA dropping that shit. What fringes on? What fringe? What? Man, when we got to, so, true story. We got to Rochester. Good brothers. Good brothers. We just got the school out there. At first, it was about 10 of them. But now all these brothers knew Hebrew, and they all had fringes on. But everyone either smelled like a blunt, cigarettes, or damn liquor. And we're like, first thing I came in and said, the first classes, I'm like, okay, I'm dapping, hugging them up. I'm like, first thing that hit me in my mind is like, the Lord has to clean this house. I was like, I told him, I said the first classes, I was like, the Most High is not going to bless any of y'all works unless y'all put away this sin. That's the first and foremost thing. And a lot of them fell away because they didn't want to quit being drunkards. They didn't want to quit chasing women. They didn't want to quit with the blunts. A few of them fell away. There's only a few now. You know what I mean? Because they didn't want to mortify the deeds of the flesh. Right? They want to sit there and do what? I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but you still got problems smoking cigarettes, and the Bible ain't never done nothing for you. That was supposed to, the word was supposed to give you power to conquer that. Right? That's like you saying, man, this pork sandwich, I understand the law, but I got to keep eating it. So just like you take confidence in not eating that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, you got to be saying the same thing for the other law in the spirit. Right? Khan? Khan means yes. All right, go ahead.
For he that wavereth
Right?
It's like a wave of the sea.
And this is why you're not faithful in your house. Because you're always letting Satan get the upper hand. Right?
God.
You're letting your emotions get the upper hand. Pride, ego. Right?
God.
Somebody pisses you off, you don't apply the scripture. Anger rests in the bosom of fools. Right? A soft answer turneth away wrath. Right? A spit on the fire. You what? No. You render evil for evil, railing for railing. So it doesn't work for you. Like, why is the Bible not working for me? Because you won't apply it. When it's time for you to work it and use it, it's like, no, you go right back to your methods. Remember, Yahweh Shai said, he's the way, the truth, and the life. So is he the way? Well, then use his method, right? It works. Like I said, we've been talking about this topic all week. But the Spirit is bringing it out. Because it's got to be pounded in brothers and sisters' heads. That it's the Spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. Right? We're going to have all the shining garments and robes and beards flowing in the holy language. Your hair covers are going to be flapping in the wind. But that doesn't mean nothing if you can't apply the Spirit. Y'all get this? Okay. So, and I'm trying to get the point to the sister through the knowledge that, sister, if you want to be this faithful woman in your house, you got to stop wavering. You got to stop calling up your old boyfriend and trying to get logic from him. You got to stop trying to get logic from random people that don't even believe in the gospel. You're always going to waver. You can't do this wavering. Go ahead. Because you're like a ship in the storm, right? What did it say?
God. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind.
Read.
And tossed.
Read.
For let him not think, for let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord.
Are y'all getting this? Like, straight to the point. Like, if you are straddling the line, it won't work for you. You got to go all in. Now, let's go back to the analogy of you getting the new man. That's how it is in a relationship. You can't be on the phone with somebody else when you got somebody new. Right? The Most High, he wants a faithful woman. He wants a faithful man. Right? The only ones that ain't loyal is who? Nobody want to say it, huh? These hoes ain't loyal. Whoredom, the idolaters, the cats that's all into everything else. It's a true saying, but let's bring it into the spirit that if your mind is on something else, then your father, your husband, the Most High, then you won't be loyal. We got to understand that and don't waver. All right? Go ahead.
God, for let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord.
So you see this? So here's the cycle. You're trying to get it right. And you're like, man, I'm trying to fight. But every time you're supposed to apply, you don't. So you never get rewarded. So you go back to it's not working. But then you try it again, but you don't fight to the end to receive the prize. And then what happens? You go back, damn, it ain't working. You'll never be rewarded because you're never consistent. And then you're sitting down and reading the Bible and reading the scriptures, and we're over here like, yeah, believe, it's going to fight for you. The Most High is going to do it. And guess what? It's never working the whole time, year after year. Why? Because you're never applying it and being consistent in it. And that's why your faith gets what? Beaten. You get beat. You get trodden down. You see that? You got to be consistent in this for it to work, just like anything and everything else. You can't take your GED. Oh, well, I was going to say you can't take it on the internet, but you actually can. Okay, you can't get your PhD. Or I guess you can do everything over the internet now. Huh? Listen, if Kim Kardashian got her degree online, you can do it. But that's the logic. I can learn everything online and not really apply it. No, you got to apply this, right? All right, let's finish that. Go ahead.
Verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Yeah, you're unstable in everything. In all your logic, your feelings, your emotions. Now, mind you, Who's doing that? Who has mixed emotions, feelings, right? You lose control, then you're trying to gain it again, and then you're losing. It is a battle, don't get me wrong. But what the message is this, that you got to be more consistent in following than being weak. Because we know a just man falls 7 times, right? You're going to make mistakes. It's going to be a battle, right? The weapon, he said the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. He's telling us there's a war, right? So this war, you got to be winning more. Because the more you lose is at your demise, right? Y'all get that, right? Do y'all really? Y'all not just saying, you're not just saying yes, but do y'all really understand this? Right, the point is to really give you the utensils and tools. Go to Ecclesiasticus 2 verse 12. So just a little bit on why you want to be this faithful person, but you can't, is because you can't have a wavering heart. A double-minded heart, right? Ecclesiasticus 2 verse 15. I know some of this is tattooed in all of y'all brains, right? But for the new brothers and sisters, for the ones that don't know, go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
Woe be to the fearful heart,
right?
And faint hands.
See, woe means destruction. So literally, you bring more destruction on yourself because you partake in the word and then what? You don't follow through with it. You see where the destruction is? It's Pandora's box, man. It's Pandora's box, baby. You open it up, it could be a benefit and help to you, or it could be hell, torment, and trial. There you go. He's going to help you out. You understand that? Right. Go ahead. Read.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands.
Right.
And the sinner that go 2 ways.
So what is the problem? You're sinning when you go 2 ways. So sis, brothers, let's go back. Y'all don't have to go back there. I'm going to just read it. Hebrews 10 and 23. Let us hold fast to the profession of our faith without wavering. Because when you waver, it's going to cause destruction to you. Go ahead. You're going to read down to verse 15.
Come. Verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Woe unto him that is faint-hearted.
Right.
For he believeth not.
Right. You see that? When you get faint-hearted going through these things, and you question your loyalty to the Father, it's not going to work for you. That's where the woe is, the destruction. Go ahead.
Therefore, shall he not be defended.
See, you won't be defended. The Most High won't come and fight for you. The wisdom won't help you. It won't be a benefit. Go ahead.
Woe unto you,
right,
that have lost patience.
Read.
And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you?
Because that's really what it is. You're losing patience and not receiving the reward of the Most High. Go ahead.
They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word.
See, if you truly want to be this, if you truly want to be this dedicated, faithful woman, then you won't disobey the Lord. See, you see why it says stop the cap? You can't cap and, man, I want to be so locked in. Well, then why are you not doing what you're told? Why are you not following the scripture? You see? Go ahead, read on.
And they that love him,
right,
will keep his way.
That's it, man. A double-minded man it doesn't believe. Is that verse 15?
God.
Go to Romans 12:23. Right. Now, when we looked up this word, it said loyalty and steadfastness. So we're touching on how to be loyal, and then we're going to touch on a few scriptures on how to be steadfast. So read this 14 and 23 real quick, and then we'll jump over to the steadfast because we only got 20 minutes. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 14, verse 23.
Go ahead.
And he that doubteth is damned if he eat.
You see that? So when it tells you in Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, it's telling you the same thing in Hebrews. It's telling you the same thing. What? If you doubt, you're damned. Right, because you really don't believe. You really won't follow through with the method and process. Go ahead.
Because he eateth not of faith.
You see? Because he eateth not of faith. Say that again? Right. Good one. He readeth not believeth. That's true. Go ahead.
For whatsoever is not of faith,
right,
is sin.
Right. You see? So that's why it says a double-minded person is a sinner. You see why you're not exceeding in a lot of areas? Because you're not consistent. You're not loyal to the method. That's why you would sit here and your fruit, you won't bear no fruit. It would start to mold. As ministers, there's got to be consistent moving, propelling forward, consistent change. That's life. Right? When you break it down to the smallest elements, it's constantly moving. Right? Go and sit in your room for 5 to 6 months and don't get out of your room. Bro, your body, if you ain't getting up, walking around, getting air, you know what I mean? Even in prison, they let you get out. See, you can't be stale. All right, go ahead, finish that.
That was it.
Okay, go to first. I'm gonna skip that. Okay. Because we got a little time. So let's jump over to the steadfast. That was another point in the definition. Steadfast. So now you know, how do I get loyalty? Well, I can't waver. Right? I cannot waver. I cannot be double-minded. I cannot be unsure. I got to be consistent, holding fast, right? Ephesians 3 and 16. We in that Ephesians a lot, in that Colossians a lot. Go ahead, read that.
Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 16.
You're going to read 16 and 17, and then somebody else is going to give me Colossians 2 and 7. Don't worry, I'm going to repeat the scriptures again. Go ahead.
God, Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 16.
Go ahead.
That he would grant you,
right,
according to the riches of his glory, to be strengthened with might by his Spirit in the inner man.
Right. So this is what we all want. This is what we all supposed to be aspiring to. We supposed to be aspiring to being strengthened with might by his Spirit in the inner man. Read.
Verse 17.
How? Read.
That Yahushua may dwell in your heart.
Right.
By faith.
Read. But how though? Okay, he's going to dwell in my heart by faith. How? What is this going to do? Read.
That ye, being rooted.
We got to be what?
Rooted.
We got to be what?
Rooted.
We got to be rooted. You can't be shaken. You can't jump. You can't move. He said it in Psalms, like a tree planted by the rivers of living water. We know what the water is. It's the word.
God.
We got to be that tree, that there are roots that go down deep, so you won't be shaken with every little thing. I know it's hard, because coming out of the world, you're what? So used to the other method. But I guarantee you, it works. The Lord works. He's not a God that he should lie. Okay, go ahead.
And grounded in love.
Do you see that? Rooted and grounded in love towards what? Okay, the Most High said he sent his son to die for me, to be an example for me. He showed me his love. Okay, so what do I got to do now? I got to show my love being rooted and grounded, right, in what he said. Or else I'm saying what? He's a lie. Right? The Most High is not lying. You got to believe that much. Right? I'm going to bring it back. Is that any different than anything else that you did in your life? Is there anything when these motivational speakers get on TV and say, you got to believe in you? Right? You got to believe in you. Right? You got to believe in the method. You got to believe in the process. Right? It's the same way. Right? But they do it for a corruptible crown. We do it for an incorruptible crown. See, what we're fighting for and staying consistent for is way beyond just their little riches and glory or their little achievements. Right? All right. You finish that. Go to Colossians 2 and 7.
Colossians chapter 2, verse 7.
Colossians, you're going to read that. Somebody else is going to get me 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 15.
God.
I'm just trying to get through them so I can at least get all the scriptures out, man. We be running short of time, and then I don't want to go over. Go ahead.
Colossians 2 and 7.
Go ahead.
Rooted.
Right. What?
Rooted.
What do we have to be?
Rooted.
So how do I get my roots to grow? Let me throw that variable in here. If the water is the word, you're the tree, how do I get my roots to grow? This is very easy. What?
Practice of being around.
Right, but I need something a little bit more straight to the point. What? We just literally just read that. You said we just read. What? It says
Applying the word.
true. What else? No, let's give somebody else. No, let's give somebody else a chance. All right, Tiana. Okay, so if we're the tree, the word is the water. How do we get rooted? What?
You have to let the word nourish you.
Yeah, and how do you do that? How do you let the word nourish you?
Staying in the scriptures.
There you go. Staying in the Bible. Suffer the little children. Right? You gotta study. You gotta study. The only way you're gonna, all that thoughts and all your way is gonna be overwritten is by the gospel. By that taking precedence in your brain. You gotta study. What?
I was just gonna say be consistent.
And I'm gonna tell you, you gotta study. Because if the water is the word, you're the tree, then I gotta constantly what? Drink that water. Right? Out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. I gotta constantly be in the word. Like putting a hose to your mouth. You know what I mean? You gotta constantly be thirsty though. The only ones that's doing it is the ones that's thirsty. Right? He said come to that living water. So go ahead, read where we're at.
Rooted and built up in him.
Right? Rooted and built up in him. Go ahead.
And established in the faith.
Established. We got to be established in this faith. This is what's going to keep you steadfast. Read.
As ye have been taught.
As ye have been what?
Taught.
Yeah, because ain't nobody walking around here double-minded and unsure. The true brothers that are working in the spirit, we're not double-minded. We know exactly what we're doing. Right? And then if you can't see that, you're supposed to look at the gospel first anyway. But you got people among you that what? That are not double-minded, unsure. 1 minute we're Baptist. Next minute we're Muslim. Next minute, 1 week we here for class. Next week we not. I'm not sure. I can't dedicate myself that much. Right? We know what we're doing. We're here every class. We're at your service whenever you need. Consistently. Some of y'all for 20 years, because you've been around that long. Some of y'all for 3 months, a year, we've been here. There's not been one time where I second question the work, the gospel, this ministry. You know what I mean? So you got examples, and we got the ultimate examples here in the book. Yahushua. But we know the Jews require a sign. So not only me, look at the brothers around us doing the work of the Most High. There's many of us committed, dedicated, unwavering, doing the will of the Most High. See, but you got to let go of your pride. You got to let go of your ego and understand you just don't know. And stop acting like you do. Well, I know how to serve the Lord. Really? Well, then why you can't deal with the small things then? You got to let go of the pride like we had to let go of the pride and do what? Learn. When you ought to be teachers, you had need that someone teach you again. It's the first principles of the doctrine. Okay, go ahead, read on.
Abounding therein.
What? We gotta, y'all gotta really feed off of this right here. When I put this scripture here, I was like, man, this is cold. Because look at the words that it's using. Rooted, built up, right? Established. Then he comes back and says abounding. That's the only way. That's the only way you're going to be steadfast. Or else you're going to be what? Yeah, I was a Hebrew Israelite. Now I'm a Muslim. Yeah, I was a Hebrew Israelite. First of all, you're always a Hebrew Israelite. You were born that way. This ain't a religion. This ain't a religion. So you're not gonna do like you did with every other belief. You were born in Hebrew, right? But now you're learning to be one inwardly, right? Okay, go ahead.
Therein with thanksgiving.
Right, abounding therein with thanksgiving. And why are you consistent? Because how am I gonna put this? How in any other way do you show the Most High that you love Him but through consistency, loyalty, commitment, and dedication? Y'all see that? That's the only way, right? 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 15, Titus 1 and 9. Oh, we coming right down to the wire. I got 3 scriptures and we got 7 minutes. Let's go.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 15.
No, but you don't have to read fast.
God.
Go ahead.
Therefore, brother, stand fast.
Do what?
Stand fast.
Brothers and sisters, just stand fast. Hold your, believe, follow. And if you don't know, just ask. We're going to get this. We're never going to pull. There's no book of CHAAZAQYA 1 and 1. I'm not going to put CHAAZAQYA 1 and 1. Right? I'm not going to put the Pimp Chronicles. I'm going to go to the gospel and show you the method. Right? That's what we're going to stand fast in. You're not going to hear what I'm saying. We're going to hear what the scriptures are saying. Go ahead.
And hold the tradition.
And hold what? Tradition. The scriptures tell you the traditions. That's going to keep you consistent. Keep you ministering, keep you giving, keep you loyal. It tells you. It's not hard to be understood what way is going to keep you consistent and loyal in the work of the Most High. You got to smother yourself with it. We always talk about it. It said they were addicted to the ministry. That's what's going to keep you not occupied in what? Oh, well, I'm going to kick it with the family. We're going to go ahead and do this and that. And then you wind up doing something stupid. That's what's going to happen, right? But if you was doing the will of the Most High, you wouldn't be doing nothing stupid. If you was occupying yourself with being in the book, you wouldn't be doing what? Things with no wisdom. Right. Y'all see that? Now, y'all got to eat that. Read.
And hold the tradition.
And hold the what?
Tradition.
Read.
Which ye have been taught.
Right. Have you been taught? Are you willing to hear? Are you willing to listen? Because if you have, then you got to follow those traditions. Go ahead.
Whether by word.
Whether by what?
Word.
You getting it right now, right? And Paul comes back and says what?
Or epistle.
Or these letters. Meaning we in front of you or it's written to you. You see that? So y'all got to see what's going to keep you steadfast, abounding, rooted, built up, right? Titus 1 and 9.
Titus chapter 1 verse 9.
Then we're going to go to Titus 3 and 8. Go ahead.
Holding fast the faithful word.
Do you see that? We got to hold fast the faithful word. Bro, you got to hold it and understand the value in this. Now, if it's not valuable, then we can talk about that too. Right? It was really not valuable to you? Well, how do you know if it's valuable, CHAAZAQYA? Well, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. What do you put first? Right? So you got to hold fast. Go ahead.
As he hath been taught.
Go ahead. As ye have been taught. Go ahead.
That he may be able, by sound doctrine,
right,
both to exhort and to...
Now check this out. The reason I put this one in here is because as a woman, as a woman that a woman asked the question, right? You're not going to be able to exemplify to people the example of what you want them to see or believe in unless you held fast to it. You see that? You can't tell nobody the word of the Most High when you ain't doing it. Don't y'all understand that this is hypocritical? Yes. Like, I don't get it. you want to put the word, the Most High put the word in me, but then follow the word, right? Is that not how it works? Like, you can't be so convicted not to do the word, but to teach it. This was backwards, man. Man, the Most High just put it on my heart. But you ain't never learned. What did he put in your heart? To show me people Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter? Come on. Okay, you showed them Deuteronomy 28, but what are they looking at? They're looking at you.
Right.
If you still moving in the slave mind of Deuteronomy 28, or you're moving in the new mind of the new man. So yeah, it's all good, all the talk and the hype, but they want to see you.
Right.
They want to see your actions, right? That's why we blaze up the Christians, right? Their little whack actions. They don't believe in the Most High. Well, what do you think people do to us? They're watching our actions. And a lot of us don't want to stand fast in the actions of what needs to be done. Right? Do you really understanding what the hell it is to be a believer? So, holding fast the faithful word, go ahead.
That he may be able, by sound doctrine, both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers.
Did you see that? You're not going to convince the gainsayers when you yourself won't walk in the sound doctrine. Right? They're going to look at you. What the brother told me, there was a brother in Rochester, one of them called me back. He said, man, one day he was fighting with his woman, and because they've been getting a lot of counsel on how to move in unity. But he's like, man, some people came up to him and said, ain't you a Hebrew Israelite? He said he felt like crap. He didn't even want to show his face. Why? Because they know 1 minute you telling everybody, believe, and then the next minute you what? You over there going against all what you've been pushing. The Most High is going to make you an open spectacle of stupidity. And make you realize that, damn, you look like Pastor Give Me More Money, Pastor, all these other pastors dancing on money and all that stuff, all the stuff we talk about and we're against. We're going to be that if we don't hold fast. Y'all see this, right? Y'all believe that? If not, the Most High will show you that it's you that has to hold fast to be an example to other people. Go ahead. Did you finish that? Where are you at? Where were you at?
That was Titus 1 and 9.
Go to Titus 3 verse 8.
Titus chapter 3 verse 8.
Right?
This is a faithful saying.
Go ahead.
And these things I will that thou affirm constantly.
How do we stay unwavering and rooted and build up? We have to affirm what?
Constantly.
We got to constantly affirm. We got to constantly. That's why the Spirit be bringing out a lot of the things over and over again. Because it got to constantly be affirmed. You got to constantly be affirmed in your mind, or this ain't working for you. You understand? You're wasting your time. Go ahead.
That they which have been believed in God,
right,
might be careful to maintain good works.
Ooh. You want to dance on that one, right? Huh? You want to crip walk on that, don't you? He said maintain good works. That's how you stay rooted. That's how you get built up. You can't waver. You got to maintain and affirm good works. That's why a lot of us be getting our conscience ripped up. Because you don't maintain good works, then you want to blame it on Satan. Well, it's the devil that got a hold on me. No, brother, every man that is drawn away by his own lust. Where's your desire at? Well, it's into the Most High, but this is pulling you. That's pulling you. Because you're making provisions for the flesh. You're making it easy for you for those things to pull you. You see, every excuse you got, the Bible and us with wisdom got a method to destroy that whack-ass excuse. Right? So while you trying to make excuses to not be in the Spirit, we're like, bro, that's because you're doing this. Well, the reason I did that is because, bro, there's another scripture to show you're wrong. It's about being consistent, being affirmed, being rooted, builded. It works. Y'all get this? And that's the point of this. I'm trying to show y'all, man, that when you waver, it's never going to work for you. All right. So, let me ask, L'Oreal, so far, is this answering your question? Okay, go ahead.
These things are good and profitable unto man.
You check that out. This is good and profitable unto man. Oh, man. Y'all see this? All right, 1 Corinthians 15:58, and that'll be it. Now, check this out. We're going to clean it up. We're going to throw in another variable in here to show you how. Check this out. Read.
1 Corinthians chapter 15.
Go ahead.
In verse 58.
Go ahead.
Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast.
There you go. Because that's, hold on a second. You ride with me. You ride with me, youngster. He's a fire. He's ready. He's ready to roll. All right. He says, remember, we looked up the word faithful. It said steadfast and loyal, devoted, right? Remaining loyal and steadfast. And Paul's coming back in the spirit of Hamashiach and saying what? Brother, be ye faithful, be steadfast. Go ahead.
Unmovable.
On what?
Unmovable.
All the doubting and back and forth. Gotta stop. Read.
Always abounding in the work.
In the what?
In the work.
Always abounding in what?
The work.
You always gotta abound in the work. That's what's gonna keep you occupied in righteousness. You occupied in the things of the world, guess what? It's gonna be easy for you to fall into those things. Go ahead.
Of the Lord.
Read.
For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain.
This work, this ministry, this duty, the change is not in vain. There's going to be a reward, right? Remember, the present suffering cannot be compared to the glory that's revealed in us. It's going to be a reward. We got to keep fighting for that reward. Y'all get this? Okay, that's it. That's it. Anybody got any questions on that? Yes, sir.
My understanding, the works talking about the commandments, correct? But
You got another 3 hours?
But not only, right?
Huh?
But not only.
Not only the commandments.
Not only the commandments.
There's a lot of other works. Right? Remember, let's think about it. Christ, the man came up to him and said, I have followed the law from my youth up. Right? He said, oh, well done. Now go do what?
Sell all that you got.
And come and what? No. And what else? He said, and come and follow me.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because, okay, you did all that. Now let's put those works to action. Right? For instance, I said this the other day. I give you a flyer, and it says, you're a true Jew, you're an Hebrew Israelite. You're going to be like, dang, bruh, that's nice. Damn, man, where can I come learn? Oh, man, you got to learn for yourself. I got to go home. I got to go do what I got to do. What's the benefit of me giving you the flyer if I can't do nothing for you? If we can't sit down and talk and politic and I have a place for you to learn and do the work that the Most High gave to me, well, why did I give you the flyer anyway? You see that? So the work has to be now me ministering to you. I'm not only giving you the flyer, now I'm going to walk you through it. And then you say, dang, you walk me through it. Now you can see my actions, right? That's the work. Think about what the apostles did. Come and follow me, right? Stop what you're doing, come and follow me. So you're absolutely right. That is the work. The commandments. First and foremost, that's the first thing that got to be done, right? Because if we ain't doing that, all of this is frivolous, right? We can be here hypocritical. So that's the first thing, following the commandments, and then all the other works follow, right? Anything else? Yes.
I just wanted to add a scripture, Joshua 24:15.
You wanted to add this scripture. Okay, sis, where do you want to add this scripture? What point?
No, this for the whole class.
Okay.
It came to my mind.
All right, let's go. She want to bear witness. Let's bring it out. Joshua what? Go ahead, read that.
Joshua chapter 24, verse 15. And it seems evil unto you to serve the Most High.
Right.
Choose you this day whom you will serve.
I like that. See, that's that. That's those daily scriptures that y'all be getting, huh? That's on point, though. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Choose ye this day. And a lot of times, it's every day you got to choose that, right? Reaffirming yourself daily. What? What am I doing and why am I doing it? Because if not, it becomes what? Just work. Right? And monotony. And we know that kills. So read it from the top. Read it again.
And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Most High, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Most High.
I love that. On point. All right. Any other questions? Not anything online that anybody got any questions or anything online? Just comments? Nah. Gamar, what Gamar talking about? I can see his name over here. I can see. I can't see very well, but I can see his name on the TV. What Gamar talking about?
It was just goes with a brother that was talking about get those lights up. You better like it too.
Okay, all right. Remember, it is a Shabbat. Let me say this while I got everybody online. If you are planning to come to the Passover, go online and put in your request for a garment. You don't have to have the money. Put in a request so you can be logged. I'm going to tell y'all not going to blame it on us. When you be like, well, it's the last month, the last week, and you're trying to get a garment to the Passover. Please don't do that to yourself. Go now, put it in there. All right? Because we've had brothers look at us and be like, nobody told us. We told y'all in text. We're telling y'all online. We keep telling y'all. We want y'all to show up, like the scriptures say, with your garments and everything. So make sure y'all go online and do that, all right? So I just wanted to say that while we got everybody online and everything. All right, remember, it is a Shabbat. We got Shabbat morning class, 10. So be here, be square. All right? Other than that, if nobody has anything, let's salute everybody online. Let's say shalom, y'all. Shalom! We'll see y'all next class. And for us in here, Aymadyam Wapanya Hakwadam, which means stand and face the east.
Yahweh shines the power, yeah. Chilling up in the kingdom, chilling with Yahweh Shai and all the brothers and the sisters, cooling out, having fun, drinking yayan with Yahweh Shai up in the kingdom. Yahweh shines the power.